Mending Wall by Robert Frost. Reading and a short summary and analysis of the poem. Mending Wall by Robert Frost is a contemplative poem that explores the theme of boundaries and the nature of relationships. The poem is structured around an annual ritual of two neighbors who meet to repair the stone wall that separates their properties. Mending Wall, the poem. Something there is that doesn't love a wall, that sends the frozen groundswell under it, and spills the upper boulders in the sun, and makes gaps even two can pass abreast. The work of hunters is another thing. I have come after them and made repair, where they have left not one stone on a stone, but they would have the rabbit out of hiding, to please the yelping dogs. The gaps, I mean, no one has seen them made or heard them made, but at spring mending time we find them there. I let my neighbour know beyond the hill, and on a day we meet to walk the line and set the wall between us once again. We keep the wall between us as we go, to each the boulders that have fallen to each, and some are loaves and some so nearly balls. We have to use a spell to make them balance. Stay where you are until our backs are turned. We wear our fingers rough with handling them. Oh, just another kind of outdoor game, one on a side. It comes to little more. There where it is, we do not need the wall. He is all pine, and I am apple orchard. My apple trees will never get across and eat the cones under his pines, I tell him. He only says, good fences make good neighbors. Spring is the mischief in me, and I wonder if I could put a notion in his head. Why do they make good neighbors? Isn't it where there are cows? But here there are no cows. Before I built a wall, I'd ask to know what I was walling in or walling out, and to whom I was like to give offence. Something there is that doesn't love a wall, that wants it down. I could say elves to him, but it's not elves exactly, and I'd rather he said it for himself. I see him there, bringing a stone grasped firmly by the top in each hand, like an old stone savage armed. He moves in darkness, as it seems to me, not of woods only, and the shade of trees. He will not go behind his father's saying, and he likes having thought of it so well. He says again, good fences make good neighbors. Summary and analysis. 1. The setting and ritual. The poem begins with the famous line, something there is that doesn't love a wall, hinting at natural forces that work to dismantle the wall each winter. The speaker and his neighbor come together every spring to repair it, a tradition that prompts the speaker to question its necessity. 2. The speaker's perspective. The speaker is skeptical about the need for the wall. He sees it as unnecessary because there are no cows to contain, just apple trees and pine trees that wouldn't encroach on each other's space. He wonders if the wall is just an outdated custom. 3. The neighbor's perspective. In contrast, the neighbor believes in the saying, good fences make good neighbors. This phrase highlights a more traditional view that physical boundaries are essential to maintain good relationships. The neighbor's stance suggests a respect for privacy and clear demarcation. Themes: boundaries. The wall serves as a metaphor for the boundaries people erect between themselves, both physically and emotionally. Tradition versus change. The ritual of mending the wall juxtaposes the tension between tradition and the questioning of its relevance. Isolation versus community. The poem explores the idea of whether boundaries foster better relationships by providing clear divisions or hinder deeper connections by keeping people apart. 5 poetic devices. Metaphor. The wall itself is a central metaphor for various types of separations in human relationships. Imagery. Frost uses vivid imagery to describe the physical act of mending the wall, the natural landscape, and the changing seasons. Contrast. The differing views of the speaker and his neighbor provide a powerful contrast and provoke thought about the necessity and impact of boundaries. Conclusion. Mending Wall invites readers to reflect on the nature of divisions in their own lives. Frost masterfully uses the simple act of mending a wall to delve into complex human emotions and societal norms. The poem raises timeless questions about the balance between separation and connection, tradition and progress.